Instead, a new wave swept across the valley that called birth of culture of tolerance and respect for humanity. और इसमें मैं थोड़ा सा रेफरेंस के तौर पर दे दूँगा कि मोहम्मद बिन फोक, a Kashmiri historian, he writes in his book on page 85 and 90, बरसगीर पाक व हिंद में दीन इस्लाम का वरूद पहली सदी हिजरी यानी 8वीं सदी ईस्वी में हो गया था। मोहम्मद बिन कासिम ने 97 हिजरी यानी 711 ईस्वी में सिंध फतह किया। उसके बाद सिंध और पंजाब से लेकर बंगाल तक सिर्फ दीन इस्लाम फैलाता चला गया, बल्कि मुसलमानों की हुकूमतें भी कायम होती रहीं, जिसकी तफसील पिछले आ चुकी। लेकिन मकाम हैरत है कि पूरे 600 साल तक बरसगीर की किसी मुसलमान हुकूमत या मुस्लिम मुबल्लिग या आलम इस्लाम को इस्लाम की तबलीग के लिए कश्मीर का रुख करने का ख्याल नहीं आया। तो द इंडिया पाकिस्तान कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ओवर नाउ कमिंग ऑन द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, तो इंडिया पाकिस्तान कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ओवर कश्मीर हैज लेड टू 3 wars between the countries and continual tension which have brought them to the brink of war. The Kashmir conflict has led to an unending arms race between India and Pakistan, entailing huge military expenditure at the cost of socio-economic development of millions of their poor citizens, and militarized the two-state societies over the last 64 years. The conflict in Kashmir has grown in complexity. The conflict has assumed new political and strategic characteristics which make it essentially different conflict than how it existed 6 decades ago. The evolution of India and Pakistan into evolved nuclear weapon states in 1998 has added a menacing nuclear dimension to the Kashmir conflict, as Kashmir has emerged as a nuclear flashpoint. Threats and opportunities in the region have all become complex and interlocked. The US needs both India and Pakistan to achieve their objectives in the region, especially in the war against terrorism, and it cannot do so without the normalization of a relation India, Pakistan and the US. Therefore, may have come to have interlocking interests. Moreover, the conflict has stalled the integration of the South Asian and built human society in the region, home to around 1.64 billion people, of 24% of world total population. The Kashmir conflict has prevented India and Pakistan, the 2 largest countries and economies of the region, from cooperating in the South Asian Regional Association for Regional Cooperation, which has limited the economic potential of South Asia, a natural economic zone due to its shared geography. Presently, the Kashmir conflict can be largely understood as a case of 3 competing nationalities or national ideology: the Indian, Pakistani and Kashmiri nationalism. India and Pakistan need to settle the Kashmir issue for their own well-being and that of the entire region. In doing so, they must both work with the people of Kashmir to secure a peaceful future. Any just and lasting solution to the Kashmir conflict will require creatively reconciling between these 3 national identities and competing claims of the self-determination in Indian-controlled and Pakistan-controlled part of Kashmir. A lasting and just resolution of a Kashmir conflict necessitates conflict transformation. Firstly, conflict transformation must also mean Indian and Pakistani negotiations of the people of Kashmir as a primary party in the Kashmir conflict. Secondly, the transformation of this hostile India and Pakistan relationship through increased economic integration in regional South Asian framework, and a tangible progress on multi-axis dialogue and Kashmir-specific CBM. And I agree with Mr. Rana, who were talking yesterday, that we need the dialogue within Kashmir also. All 3 parties, India, Pakistan and Kashmir, need an exit strategy. It is critically important that there be a light at the end of the tunnel for all parties concerned, especially the people of Kashmir, the main sufferers in the conflict. Government of India and Pakistan in favor of Kashmir's independence may well change its favor tomorrow. Both are against the independence of the Kashmir, India and Pakistan, but I hope that maybe they will come in favor of it. But tomorrow, nobody knows. A peaceful and lasting solution of the Kashmir problem can only emerge through a step-by-step process of dialogue between India, Pakistan and representatives of the Kashmiri people. But the first prerequisite for such a dialogue is an end to the violence, irrespective of its origin or target. A dialogue and a conflict cannot coexist. What India and Pakistan have to realize is that they have to give up their entrenched position. Peace and friendship is more important than hostility. The extremists will continue to talk hostility because they have developed a vested interest in an unsettled situation. However, a durable peace in Kashmir can only emerge if the common man, irrespective of which side of the line of control, region or religion he comes from, is convinced that his aspirations and interests are going to be honored. To move forward in pursuit of finding a amicable solution of Kashmir problem, it is necessary to create and develop a climate of trust between India, Pakistan and Kashmir. In addition to agreed CBM, both governments should transfer all subjects except defense and foreign affairs to Kashmir by making LOAC irrelevant to the people of divided state of Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, this transfer of the power to the both Kashmiri government, it was presented by Kuldeep Nair day before yesterday, I think. And what I am talking about, making LOC irrelevant, it was the promise of the Indian Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh. They can have their own air service and tourism trade and cultural mission abroad. Changing attitude, I see a change in the attitude, and it is as a ray of hope. So there was a time when any statement on Kashmir, either by the Prime Minister of India or the Prime Minister of Pakistan, used to create a rumpus. Politicians and the media on both sides would develop on several days on what particular remark tried to convey. Perhaps leaders of the India and Pakistan government, include the Hawks, have come to realize that there is no alternative to amity. Perhaps the peace lobby on both sides has got expanded for even the governments to notice, and they refrain from giving ultimatum as it used to be happen until long ago. Neither India or Pakistan has been able to impose its preferred solution on long-standing Kashmir conflict. The both sides have gradually shown more flexibility in the traditional position on Kashmir without officially abandoning them. This development has encouraged the consideration of new creative approaches to the management of the conflict. It is thought of no war pact without the formality of signing one, and it is a good sign that we can move forward. So, thank you very much. For the question, I have requested that Sadaf Munshi will help me in translating the question that I will
I'm sorry.
if there is any question.
So yeah, any questions, comments, please.